Hi everyone.
Hey.
Hello. Hey. So welcome to yet another live stream today, and we have got Eddie back again with us. Hey. And we have another special guest, and this is a special episode on with a small collaboration with JaiSadana from Script Foundation, and he's gonna take us through the journey of some awesomeness. And let's welcome him. Hey, JaiSadana.
Hi. So, before I get start, what the journey that all the team members have faced from past an year or two. So, like the foundation that we have started in the last past 2 years and all, so much of like students, professionals were like a part of that foundation. Like they were like training students in various technologies, in various management courses that we are also launching this year. So our main target is to expand globally so that we can just help the students to code or do anything. Like for example, we are nowadays like coming with the various type of courses like in machine learning, blockchain, DevOps, etc. So now we are like just expanding globally so that all the students and all the chapters in various countries, or you mean say cities, they can be a part of a single foundation. And if they need any sort of support, anything they want from either me or from my team, any courses, any sort of recommendation or some sort of consultations in the foundation that we usually give to many of the students, that how they should start the career with a, a journey, like how they should start like from scratch to like a top professional, how they should come. So this is a whole journey that we have started from last 2 years, and now like we are just expanding globally now. So like we will be like soon like starting in UK, then we'll be in Indonesia, then US. So we'll be more expanding, and more um, audience will be coming, and so that we can just engage our audience in such a way that they should learn something new and innovative with us, with an exciting webinars, as well as in various events that we usually conduct on yearly basis.
Awesome. That's nice. What do you think, Eddie?
Yeah, I think it's good getting more people into tech, into coding. Of course, more people into open source. That's where my big passion is. I think it's
Yeah.
great. Definitely. Tech is for everybody.
Okay, that's great. So today the main topic for today is like let's create a static site generator. So how many of you agree that having like some complex WordPress based CMS or something like that that actually kills the whole concept of having stuff, right? Like for example, it needs to access a database, it needs to do some more processes, and finally, when it comes to the output, it's gonna be really, 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 really slow. So,
Yeah.
but thinking about like if we try to convert everything inside a, let's say, something like a HTML and CSS and JavaScript. JavaScript is just only for the interaction part. In that case, it's going to be even more faster and simpler to render and stuff, right? So that's what we are going to try it out today. So
And you forgot one really important factor. It can
yeah, I'll
be
tell you.
open
I'll tell you.
source as well.
Yes, man. So we can also deploy the things through GitHub and GitHub pages. So that was the main thing which I was about to say, because when it comes to static site, the first thing you for developers it comes as like some kind of like a way to like deploy the website or something like that. So that would be through GitHub, and GitHub Pages is one of the most used, very quick and simple continuous integration and continuous deployment delivery thing. But considering CI/CD now, GitHub Actions are really good. Eddie, go on.
Oh,
Take
GitHub
your
Actions. I
take your time.
actually have a video coming out in the next couple of days. Another video on GitHub Actions where it shows you that even with a tiny project, like no project is too small to have a GitHub Actions, because you can have it like run a linter, you could have it minify it, or whatever you need to do with just a few lines of YAML. So it is just some config. So we do have some awesome GitHub Actions where we do some complex things like create HTML tables into the README from a JSON file, but also we're showing how you can run Cypress tests quite simply using Cucumber, all in with GitHub Actions. So yeah, watch my space. We do have some awesome things coming out, and Praveen is right. GitHub Actions is like CI that you might have heard of, Travis CI or Circle CI, but it's on steroids. It's easier to use and more powerful. So definitely have a look at GitHub Actions.
Eddie, a lot of people are thinking that you are a mechanic. Go check out the chats.
Mechanic. Oh, because of a screwdriver in front of my name. Praveen made me a mod,
actually
so
a
thank you very much,
spanner.
Praveen.
Yeah, super
I'm the
awesome.
spanner.
Yeah, he's the spanner, and I'm the what?
No, the
I'm
reason
the
why I
highlight.
say it like that is because as kids in the UK, a spanner was someone who was a bit kind of not the smartest person. So I'm saying I'm a bit of a spanner,
Really?
like a spare wheel, or a bit like.
You are not. What? No
I'm
way.
always learning from Praveen, so I'm looking forward to his live stream today.
And I'm always, my guru is AD. So there you go. So
High
it's like
five.
a convolution of the constitution of the. After this, I don't want to say anything because it might screw up the whole thing. Okay, great, awesome. So without further delay, let's go in and let's bash it. Like so. So I was telling, right. So this is what we've been thinking of. So we need to do something very static, and I've got a bit of a design which I wanted to use, and also some kind of a data structure we can think of. So what happens here is this will allow me or enable me to see what exactly, like, let's do a crowdsourcing thing as well. And one more thing, folks, what I'm planning to do is, from a lot of people have said uh, Eddie, and I guess I need you to answer all the chat messages because there are like so many good questions going on. Yeah, okay, you are already doing it.
I'm
Okay,
trying to keep up.
so
Everyone,
one thing.
prepend your questions with a Q if it's a question for Praveen, so it stands out a little bit more. And if you're just chatting between each other, then just chat as normal.
No, no, no. QP for me, QA for QE for AD. All right. So yeah, one thing which I wanted to tell is like I've got a couple of designs and a few data structures, and as every single time when I say, a lot of people go into the tech field and they go completely new, right? So I'm gonna come. I have come here unprepared again. Sorry about that, but next time, maybe one time I will prepare and come. That's a different story. But always unprepared works, right? So I can take the community's help and then try to build something awesome. So that's what I'm going to do. That's first thing. Second thing, for a lot of people, they have been asking, I have to wait till the weekend to watch the videos or like see another live stream. So what I thought was, obviously everyone has lunchtime in the UK, right? So I was actually planning to obviously I need to reduce my weight as well. So thinking about all those things, I was planning to, like, take something very light, and during the lunchtime I'm planning to do every day a half an hour live stream
Awesome.
doing something. Like, I'm planning to take a project today, so I'll decide on something, and then I'm gonna take every single day half an hour on the lunchtime, something around like 12 to 12:30, which is around 4:30 to 5 in India. And so it will be a live stream, daily live stream, and it is going to be like one set of topics. So we are taking up a project, we are completing the project, and it's actually, for me, I wanted to do something and I want to crowdsource with you all. So this is what I wanted to do. At the same time, I'm going to learn a lot of things. Like, people, if I do something like let's say, hey, this is something which I wanted to build, but it also helps me in my office work as well. So there are multiple ways of building one particular thing. So thinking about all these things, I thought, okay, I'll come up with a project. Anyway, I'm doing a lot of projects in my spare time, which goes unnoticed and which goes nothing. So it's just for my learning purpose. So why don't I learn with the whole community? That will also help others as well, right? So this is what I thought. What do you think about this, Eddie? And almost also one more thing, I'm going to open source that project, so that way everyone can also benefit. There you go. So that's my idea. And there is another live stream today on my channel, which is about JavaScript, the latest features, which could be a precursor to almost all these things. So don't forget to come then as well. So I guess it's 5 hours from now, around 5 to 6 hours from now. So make sure you are here. Okay. Not sure about the timings again. So let me quickly have a look at the timings once.
I think that sounds great. I just have one question for you, Praveen. When are you starting your lunchtime live streams?
Shall I start tomorrow?
It's up to you. I mean, entirely up to you. Tomorrow it would be good, but if you need time to get organized and set up, just to give everyone an expectation of, is it going to be this week? Is it going to be next week?
I was actually planning to do from tomorrow. So what do you think, folks? So we'll get the people's choice. So generally they use the saying Tamil called Makkal Tirpe Maheshan Tirpe, which means the voice of people is the voice of God. So let's hear it from the people. Okay.
Awesome.
So
And so everyone watching, if you want to get notified as well, subscribe to Praveen's channel, hit the notification button so you get notified when he does go live, and you can also set reminders. And to support him, give his video, this live stream, a thumbs up. It's free.
thank you. Okay, so with that being said, I gave the quick introduction of what we are going to do today. And again, I'm completely unprepared, so you guys have to help me. So for the next 1 hour or so, we'll be building something nice and clean. And Eddie, please help me with the chat because I'm on
Sure.
vMix, right? So I won't be able to switch the
Yeah, sure.
screens.
You have Jay and me. We'll look at the chat. Jay will jump in if any questions, spark any interest. He thinks good. He can kind of read them out, and one of us or both of us
Sure.
can answer.
Awesome. Let me also quickly have a look at the chats once again.
Okay.
Let me know when you want me to bring up your screen as well.
Yeah. So, Hitesh says that's true. Yeah, WordPress-based websites kill the fun part to build a website from scratch. Definitely, that's so true. And super. That works. And I'm just gonna start with. You can start the screen sharing, Eddie. And at the same time, let me also open my phone so that it is. Or else, just give me 1 second.
No problem.
Sorry, guys, I need to just go and get another phone of mine so that I'll just grab one more phone so that I can see the chat message.
That's fine. I'll fill in the gaps. We're talking about open source, obviously. So while Praveen's getting his phone, remember Hacktoberfest is next month, which is a great time to contribute to open source. So you can get free t-shirts, free stickers. I have my GitHub Iron Man t-shirt on at the moment, but you'll get limited edition t-shirts, so it's definitely get involved. And my one tip to all of you is don't wait for October. Today is the 20th of September. Start today. After this live stream, start contributing. Make the small pull requests now and make those mistakes and just practice. And you can't really do anything wrong. The worst thing that will happen is you submit a pull request, you submit a change, and the project maintainer says no thank you and closes the pull request. You still get that green square, so your profile will still look active. And it's really important to have an active profile for two reasons. One, it shows to potential employers, your colleagues, and so on, that you are continually learning, and not just learning about code. You're also learning about how to network and how to communicate with people from around the world, which is really important. That is one thing I look for when I'm hiring, is more than code. I actually look how people communicate and work with other people, which I believe is really important. Make sure they have the right attitude. And I also like to look at their code, not only from today, but from 3 months ago. And I like to check that their code has improved in those last few months. And open source, you will get so many skills. But I won't talk too much about that because we'll be here for another 2 hours. I do have a YouTube channel that I focus on open source, so go check that out if you wanna have a look at videos and live streams on that. Right, Praveen, are you ready?
I'm ready. Just a second. Yeah.
I'm ready. Just a second.
I'm just trying to see how long it takes for me to, like, when I say something. It is taking more than 10 seconds, I guess. Yes, it's taking at least 10 seconds. Great. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly check the chats and awesome. So we've got a couple of people joined as well. That's great. And yeah, let's get in. And
You want me to bring
share
up
the
your screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is Praveen's screen. And I'll get back to the chat. I noticed some people have tagged me. I'll have a look now.
Boom. So we'll start with the empty project. So I'm just going to go to github.com, and here you can see that I'm going to create a new repository, and I'm going to leave it public as well. So this is going to be static site. Oh yeah, I can't use capital name, right? Or it's all right. It's not a React project. So static site generator node.js. And Eddie, you want to copy and paste the link on YouTube, please?
Yeah, sure.
So that's the one. It's static site gen node.js, and that's the latest repository in my GitHub profile. And here, what we are going to do is I'm going to use VS Code again. So I'm going to open a new window. Let me have a quick look at. Okay, I don't have anything else, so I'm just gonna make this huge so that everyone will be able to see it clearly. And for the first time, what I'm going to do is I'll open up my terminal, which I'm using as item2, and go to the works, and then I'm going to clone this. So as I tell everyone, the first time when I clone, I'm going to use my username in front of github.com with an @ symbol and copy it. So the first thing I'm doing is git clone this one, and it says me that I have cloned an MP repository, which I know, and I'm just going to open this directory with this. So I'll just close off item2, and here arrange icons by date added. There we go. So now I will be using VS Code for this one, and if we go back to the Finder, I'm just gonna take it and put it over here so that everything is here. Okay, so I'll also make this a bit bigger so that it is visible to you all. Super. So no comments, and let's get it. So the first thing is what I wanted to do here is I wanted to try, try to create a static website. Okay, but at the same time, the problem here is I wanted to do using a generator, but I don't want to create everything every single time. So that is what was like actually bothering me. For example, you would have seen a lot of events. I'm able to hear my own voice. Okay. So a lot of people would have seen this page, right? So this is my events page, and in this page, there are like loads and loads of things are like very common. For example, these three things or something like that. Okay. So what I want to do today is I want to create a gallery of page. For example, if I go to the events.praveen.science, this page, it is still empty. I want to create something on this, so like a gallery thing, and I've got a couple of ideas as well for the card layout and other things. One thing which I really love is this layout. Look at this. For some reason, I love this because there is a nice. Let me try to zoom it in for you. So this is the maximum I can zoom because it's already a small image. So what is there here is, so there is a nice border and there is a kind of like the background is like kind of gradient background, and you have the image in the center, and that image has another shadow, and it is completely responsive as well. So this is what we need to design first. So let's start designing this thing, and this is the main part of this whole thing, because obviously what do you call this, bootstrap provides a lot of things, and we will be using bootstrap for this. Okay, so thinking about all these things, let's do only this part. So I'm just going to open jsbin.com. I hope everyone knows what jsbin.com is, and um, so this
No, I
is this
don't
is
know what
some.
it is. Do you want to explain what it is?
Sure. So jsbin.com is a website which kind of like immediately shows an output of whatever you do in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So you have HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, three areas where you can type, and here you will see an output instantly. For example, this also supports Emmett. So if I just put this one, and then if I put like a header, H1, A, logo, then as a sibling, I want a nav. Then inside that I want UL. On the right side already you can see that there are things that's getting populated, and UL li I want like 4 links, and then A with link 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. So as quick as possible you can make yourself very productive, and you can generate these things in a quick second. So, and immediately if you want to change any kind of content structure, anything. So for example, if I want the header to be like dark color, so like I'll use BGC black, and color what I can do is header A, the color is going to be white, and text decoration none, and for everything I'm going to use line height 1, margin 0. See, look at it, it immediately works, right? So font weight normal, and font size 10 pt. So that way everything is like quickly done, and
Okay,
p0.
looks good. We have a question from 2K19 which says, what is Storybook in React and what is it used for? I know, Praveen, you're a React advocate.
Storybook I haven't used much. Once in my gaming company I used it, and it is just a template manager for React. It's like it can manage a lot of components and designs for it. It's mainly for for the designers to talk with the developers, something like that.
Okay. And what
I
about
haven't
Bootstrap
explored
Studio? Asked by
Bootstrap
Hitesh.
Studio. Haven't had it.
I haven't used that either. I haven't used Bootstrap in a long time. I'm starting to use Tailwind a lot more.
Uh, Hey, wow, this looks nice. So it's a powerful desktop app for creating responsive websites using the Bootstrap framework. So again, it is same thing that was said by Hitesh. If you're not coding to make this work, then there is no fun in doing this. So I believe this is going to like automatically, like you have everything here. Yeah, literally everything is here. What I wanted to do, we have SB admin and all these famous websites as well. So I'll just take this clean blog and customize it. That's it. Hey, there is nothing. So it's like a website generator. So this is something. This is a tool that writes the HTML code for you. As simple as that. Let's say events with Praveen, and then description is hey, this is the page where you have all events, and I could put this one as well. So Bootstrap is the fourth. 4 is the latest version. Actually, 5 got released, but let's see. So we've got all these pages and then blog post. So whatever we are trying to create on the command line right now, it is actually creating using a web service. As simple as that. So there you go. Actually, it doesn't work. Oh, it works. So all you need to do is, okay, I don't want this to be a clean block, so I want to put events here, and then see, this is again, it comes like WordPress. It's just a online editor. That's it. So not cool. Not a good idea to start with. So let's go with this one. Okay, so I want to create something like this. So let me open up, let me do the basic thing for this. Okay, so I want to use HTML and CSS. So we have this let's say entry, or what can we do, like event item. So what I will do is I'll have a events division and a div, and then I have a event item, and what all things I want an event item. That's what I need to know. Okay, so let's say I have like 6 event items, and inside of each one I need a heading. So I'll use. So first thing is I need a image. Okay, and I'll do like event item image wrapper,
And
and
while you're doing that, another question actually about the tool you're using, JSBin. It's very similar to CodePen. That's correct, right?
yes, CodePen is correct, but CodePen you need to. Okay, there is not much difference between CodePen and JSBin except CodePen asks you to register.
Okay.
That's I don't want to give my information. Here I can just go ahead, do something quickly, and then save and send the URL to everyone. So that's easier, right?
If anyone wants more information on Praveen, I can let you know. His pin code is 1234.
What?
I'm just joking.
Okay, so we have a figure. Let's say we will start with a figure, and then the figure will have an image, and then fig caption, and IMG we will take it from somewhere, so I can get all my designs in an imgur.com thing, and then I'll just take the latest designs and I'll just put them on here. Apart from fig caption, I need a heading, so I'll have a h3 or something like that, and h3 needs to be linked or something, so I'll just put a link here and then saying like event name. Then I'll just give a small event description. Okay, so that would be going inside a paragraph. So since the image is supposed to be linked, I'll just put a image, and guess I don't need this fig caption in that case. I'll just use the figure and a image. So that helps because I will be even reducing the number of tags that I'm using. Materialize or bootstrap, I'll go with bootstrap because I know bootstrap. That's it, as simple as it. So here I'll just put event one description here, and then I'll just put event one name, something like this. So I guess this should work for 6 events. Boom, you got like event one name, event two name, event three name, event four name, event five name, and event six name. Great. So yeah, for people who knows and who doesn't know, I use Canva for designing things. So recently, so what I would do is I'll just take all my designs, try to find the images, copy image. That's my first image. Great. So I believe this is like 720 by 720. Like sorry, so it says 420 by 225. All my designs are what do you call this? 1920 by 1080. So if I try to resize this image and put 1920, perfect. That's in the right like right dimensions. So I'm happy with this. So let's go ahead. Oh, this is our design now. So what I'm going to do is I'll take this one, copy image. We have this one, copy image. We have this one, an upcoming one, copy image. We need 6, right? So 1 2 3 4. We'll take this one, copy image. We'll take this one. I guess we've got 6 images. Great. So let's do this. Let's copy all these image addresses. So
You do have a question that came up a few minutes ago by, hopefully I pronounced his name right, their name right, Bhavana, asking, what was that? It looked like magic. You were just putting them in order to explain us the structure.
okay, just give me a second. Let me try to get these. Which one? Which one? Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
The four messages up. They say, what was that? It looked like magic. Praveen does do a lot of magic. He's very, very fast. So do jump in with the questions and we'll try and keep
Sorry.
up. I nod along a lot to Praveen. He's very, very fast. I thought you were putting them in order, the question asks, just to explain us the structure. I missed
Okay.
what you did as well, so I'm not exactly sure what the question is referencing to.
So can you clarify the question, please? Whoever asked the question, clarify the question. Okay, what I'm doing is, again, I'm being literally a lazy person. I'm trying to get all these images. Like, there is this. Okay, let me zoom this in. So there is this thing called as post content image wrapper rounded, and then inside that there is this image. So there are like 6 images right now. Okay, for all these things, I'm gonna do a for each function, and inside this one, if I do something like, oh, can I do a map function in that case? Yeah, map is not a function. So for each is the only thing which I can do. And one thing which I want to do is I'm going to do a hello equal to a empty array, and I'm going to put hello dot push this dot src. I don't know whether this works, and I'll put hello, and it's gonna say hello is undefined. So all these elements are undefined. So I don't think this is the right code I should be using. So what I'm going to do is, instead of this dot src, I'm just going to put this. So this seems to be a window here, which is not the one which I was trying to do. So I would take this one. I mean, this is not the part of this thing, part of this part, like part of this event. So I'm just gonna put I, and what else? Wait.
Okay, it looks like the question's been clarified. So when you get a moment, let me know.
Yeah, sure. I'm just gonna put cur and plus enter. Oh wow! So this is what I was looking for. So current is the image. So cur dot src. So this is what I wanted to have. Boom! I've got all the image locations here. So all I need to do is I need to join this one with a /n, and now I've got all these images as list. So this is what I was trying to do. So it's nothing related to what we are doing in this thing. It's just that I'm lazy. So let me get all these images here. Eddie, do you want to switch back to the normal way so that I'll have a quick look at the YouTube uh, page, and I'll just see what exactly they have asked myself.
Yeah, so sure. The question was, in the HTML section of JSB, and you have put events. What you did with Emmett, where you put events greater than dot event item, and it all generated that code for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. So what I did was, Emmett is a nice tool for web developers, especially the HTML developers, because it tries to create HTML and CSS based on abbreviations. All of us like shortcuts, right? So what I generally do is I just put an exclamation mark, and it does the HTML5 boilerplate. Then I do like header. So this is what I generally do with almost all my live streams. Go check it out. And this live stream I didn't want to show the basics, so check that out once. And yeah, that's what it is. So Emmett has a lot of shortcuts
Oh,
that are
great.
available. uh, I'll send you the Emmett cheat sheet.
Where is the Emmett cheat sheet? Is it on your GitHub repo?
No, I'm just sending it. It's from the official documentation.
Okay.
So
Awesome. And you can get the plugin for VS Code. You can get plugins for lots of things. So definitely
you
worth
don't need a
having.
plugin for VS Code, but others you need a plugin.
Okay.
You don't need a plugin for VS Code, CodePen, or JSWin, because all of these things come with Emmet, and otherwise everything is there. And yeah, as Eddie says, the student pack has a lot of things around. Now I guess the value of student pack is around $12,000 or $14,000. So all of that for you for free. So make sure if you're a student, just get it over. And one more thing is like in the HTML section on, okay, that is what I said. Yeah, that is called Emmett Bhavna. And for Deepak, that's some easy method for writing HTML tags. Yes, that's right. You never use the less than symbol at all. Literally, you don't use that. I have also removed that less than symbol in my keyboard so that I don't use it for. I use it only for comparison for less than. That's the only thing I'm using. And here's the um, yes, Bhavana, you need to keep seeing my live streams. Eddie, we can switch back to the
Sure.
screen share mode. So yeah, so if you see here, I've got all these um, URLs. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all these things. So we already have 6 of them. So once we are here, I'm just going to close the CSS and output. Um, I'll try to get into all these figures. Okay, so if I type something, it's going to affect all these things, right? Super. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is there. So I'm going to change this one like this. IMG is going to be this. And if I click on the output, I can see that each output has been changed. So the first one is some interview helper. So I'm just going to put event one name as interview helper. And the second one is static site generator. This is ours. I need to also look at how it appears when I try to give different sizes in it. Okay, so 3 is getting a career opportunity in the UK. I guess it is going to be the biggest one. Getting a career opportunity in the UK. Okay. We have got quick shopping cart helper. Again, this is also using React.js. So quick shopping cart helper. Why didn't I put using React.js? Oh, I have put React.js and Bootstrap here.
Okay.
What else? Personal portfolio building workshop. This is for event 5. Personal portfolio building workshop. And finally, event 6 is code for good. This is something small, I guess. Code for good. I guess this is the only thing that is small. Awesome.
Just
Do we have any
people are
questions?
saying you're really fast, which I think is it's good that Praveen's trying to cram in lots of exciting content
Yeah, we are running out
in
of
the
time.
short space. But just to let people know that as you watch more and more videos and live streams from Praveen, you'll notice that a lot of the tools are repeated, like JSBin, like Emmett, and so on. So those will become a lot easier for you as you see them again and again, as you use them. So therefore, it allows you to focus on the additional stuff that for that specific stream that Praveen is covering. So don't worry too much about everything. If you can grab, a few gems from this stream, you'll grab some more from other streams. And this stream will be available afterwards. I think it takes YouTube about 12 hours to render it. So in about 12 hours, you can rewatch it again on any bits that you want to see
And
again.
one more thing which I would say is, if you have a question and it was not answered, please go and comment it out on the after the live stream. Just click on the comments. Like even now you can do it. So add a comment that don't say that your question was not answered or anything. Just post the question. I'll make sure that each and every comment is responded either by me or Eddie. Definitely, I'll respond everything for sure. If I put all these things. So right now, what I have done here is, let's see the output. So you have, let me see how it looks in the normal screen. Okay, so it looks like this. So you have this picture, you have the heading, you have the description, and there are like 6 of them, and then it looks something like this. Okay, let me again zoom in for you. Nice. Now, what I'm going to do is, I've got these things, right? So there is events, event item, then I've got these kind of things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the frame out of this one. Okay, so I already had a CSS frame generator, but what I'm planning to do now is I'm going to use use something called as 𝐿 So what this does is it converts SCSS into CSS, and writing an SCSS code will be very easier. Okay, let me show you what exactly happens here. So this is where I need to put the code, right? So the first thing is events. So I have events, and inside that I've got dot event item, and inside that I've got a figure a. What is happening really? It's some if I have it in zoomed in position, something else is, I mean, literally something is happening here. I don't know what is happening here. Whatever. Right. So I've got A, and then inside the A, why does it do this way? Seriously. Just allow me to code. Okay. Inside the A, I have got an IMG. This is shit for some reason. I guess they did something new in this code, and it doesn't allow me to work freely for some reason. Anyway, okay, so I've got this one, and after this figure, I've got a H3A as well. So this is figure here. So I've got a H3. There seems to be some kind of a lag that makes a problem. Yeah, there seems to be some lag that is making a huge problem.
Where is the lag? When you make
Because it is
changes.
Yeah, when I make any change, it takes a few seconds. Maybe it is going to the server and then coming back, something like that.
Yeah.
So if I type in slowly, it works for some reason. I don't know what is happening. And then we have a paragraph tag, which is next to H3. So let me be very slow. I'm just putting a paragraph. Yeah, it is doing something. And I'm giving a space, opening this one, putting enter. Now it works. Yeah, it's just that I'm too fast even for computers. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a simple CSS comment so that it actually renders all these things for me. Okay. Now you know why I am using this. Look at this. For generating, this is why I was using this one. So I know that this is the structure that I want to follow. So I have a events. Inside the events, I have event item. Inside the event item, I have a figure. And inside the figure, I have a. And inside the A, inside the figure, I have an IMG. And inside the H3, I've got a as well. And then I have got a paragraph tag. So this is easy, right, for me to create something like this. So what I do is I'll just take this one from 𝐿 and then go to CSS and then put it over here. So that's again some easy tricks that I do to be lazy. So this is here. So I've got all these things, and I don't need to worry creating the whole stuff. So for everything, like for example, for all this code, for the whole code, this is what is the complete CSS that you will be using. Okay. Now with that being said, let's try to create something like this. So the first thing is I have a bordered rounded thing. Okay. So before anything, the events and event items, these are the two things that are going to make the whole container part. Okay, so I'll just stick with floats for now, or shall we go with the flexbox model? I guess flexbox model will be nice, but floats are supported even in Internet Explorer 8. So there are a lot of people who are using Internet Explorer 8, so I'm just gonna use
What about
floats for them.
grid?
Even Flexbox is not supported AD, so grid is definitely a no.
Okay, if you want to
Okay.
support IE6 or IE5, I understand.
Yeah, not IE5, please. No, just IE6. Sorry, IE8. Sorry. Okay. So now what I'm doing is, for now, every event item needs to be just width of 50%. So we have at least two things, and all the images should have a max width of 100% so that it looks better. And I want the images to be a block level display so that it has all the margins, padding, and stuff. So the layout really. And with this design, I was thinking, why can't we make all the text to be centered? So I'll just gonna put text align center to make everything look centered. Let me add a body tag with a quick reset. This is a reset which I'm going to use. I'm gonna say margin 0 for everything, padding 0 for everything, line height as 1 for everything, font weight as normal for everything, text decoration none for everything, and font size as 10 pp. 10 points is mainly used for like, if it is 10, it's, you can use it as multiples of 10. And I'm also a fan of box sizing border, border box sizing. So box sizing border box, that is what I'm going to use, so that I can correctly measure things and do it. Okay, so now this is what I have got in my area. So if you see the output, you can clearly see that the output is good. And at the same time, there is also another problem that I'm facing now. Look at this. These things are good in this bigger one, but at the same time, I see something that is not aligned as well. Okay, that is because it is taking the width and other things, right? So let's zoom in a bit.
We've got a
Let's zoom in
comment
and
saying make it into a card or a profile card. It's kind of like that. It is. I think
I'm
is
doing
what
a
you're
profile
making.
card, but from the scratch. Bootstrap is not created by aliens. Bootstrap was created by people like us. So let's recreate it. I know recreating is bad, but at the same time, I thought I wanted to create it in such a way that I love it. So that's it. Okay. So now we have a problem, people. So look at this. When the size of this is going bigger, okay, I want to do something more bigger as well. So what is the biggest or longest content that I have got? Hitesh, you can get all the keyboard shortcuts in the link which I sent you. Okay, so let me go back to our getting a career opportunity in the UK. I guess that is the biggest one. So I'm just gonna put and get a job, something like this, so that it is big. Okay, so now these things will kind of like break the whole layout. Okay, first thing we need to avoid that. So what I'm going to do is, for H3, I'm gonna do, or maybe for the link in the H3, I'm gonna give something like display block again, and there is something called as text overflow as ellipsis, but this will not apply until you make the whole text go in one line, which you can use white space, no wrap. So now it goes in one line, but at the same time, if you see this particular thing, it is actually going out of the bounds. Okay, so I'm gonna give overflow hidden. Boom, there you can see there is a three dots coming in, and it says that there is more text to it, something like that. This is what exactly what I want. And since the spacing is also a bit awkward, I'm gonna give padding as 5 pixels so that it has some spacing. And moreover, I don't want everything to be like so congested. So for every event item, I'm gonna give a padding of 10 pixels so that it has some space around it. And let's also give the border. We will start with this border. Okay, so I'm just gonna zoom this in a bit. I see that the colors are hash CCC. That's the, see, I'm a colorblind person, so I feel that this would be a CCC color. So I'm gonna give border on PX solid hash
You've
CC.
got some good suggestions coming up. Make it into a slideshow. I think in this live stream we're going to keep things simple, but maybe for a future
Yeah.
one, that's a good suggestion.
And moreover, I don't want to do the slideshow here because of obvious reasons. So I don't want to use the border here and add a margin, because this is something which I'm using it for layout. So when I use the exact width, and add a margin here, it's going to screw up the whole layout. So I'm not going to use the margins here, but I'm going to use a margin there. Wait, I'll make this padding as 5 pixels, and then for this figure I'll be using border. Okay, and here let me make the figure display block, because I'm not sure what is the original display of this figure as well. And here I'm going to make padding 10 pixel again, so that it gives you that same effect. Okay, there is some, but 10 pixel is very small, so I'm going to go with 15 pixels. And the image also gets updated in such a way that it's going to get smaller too. What happened to the background? So let me add a white background to my body, so that it looks a bit real, like whatever is going to happen in the real page, I'm going to do that the same thing here. So for this particular resolution, I want 2 images per row. So for that's the reason I used 50%. We will think about the responsiveness in a later part. Okay, now we have got 2 things. We have got these things. We need to set the background color. So there is something called as CSS gradient generator, where I can create gradients. Okay, it is called as Ultimate CSS Gradient Generator by Colorzilla. Okay, this has almost all the gradients that we want. I'm going to use this gradient, and what I'm going to do is I will, like, blindly I'm going to use this gradient. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want something very subtle, and that is gray in color, something like that. Let me see if there is something. I found something which looks really nice, and for this one, the color and this color, there are 2 colors here. Let me see what is the color. This is EEEEE, and this one is CCC. CCC is our border color. So what I'm planning to do is I'm going to give EEEEE for this one.
What
And
was that again? I didn't hear you. It was EEEE.
It is 6E, hexadecimal color.
Which is the
It
same as
9.
3, right? So if anyone watching, if it's 6 repeated, you can just use the abbreviation of 3.
Yeah, that's true. But this particular tool doesn't allow.
Okay.
It
But
needs all the
CSS generally.
Yeah, in CSS generally you don't need to put if the 3 values are same, just put only once, not twice. Okay, so another thing, what does this mean is it is 93% black. Okay, and here for the first color I want to use F5 F5 F5. You can't do anything on this one. So yeah, so I'm just using it. It is very 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 subtle. You can't see that there is a gradient here, but it is very subtle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm also going to support IE browsers, and then for now this one it looks like this. So can you see the gradient at least, like very slightly? It's very slightly. So let this one be there, but let's make this more darker, like E0. Okay, forget the shorthand. I'm gonna make it as E0 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 to give a slightly darker tint. Or maybe I can do this way. Instead of 87% black, I'm just gonna put 50% will be so dark.
And while you're doing that,
75.
you've got some suggestions coming in as well from the previous screen, which is caption might look better if it hides until we mouse over. Yeah, that's probably where we get into the more user interaction. They do go on to say expand it and show the caption or header per pic. That's
Okay,
something again
I'll do
that we
that.
can do later. Don't give Praveen too
Yeah.
much work, but do give him some. He makes
Yeah,
it look
definitely.
easy.
Please, because this is something which I'm going to do for my own thing. So I want your feedback as well. And before doing this, I'm going to do border radius as 5 pixels. Nothing happened, right?
And you've got another suggestion regarding that, which is use calc to use the width and margin both.
So calc is very performance intensive, and I'm not going to suggest anyone to use calc. Just be good with your math, which is really bad. I'm bad about math. So don't ever use calc. Okay.
Or
So,
only
so
use
for
it
the
if
figure,
Praveen's not watching.
use it when I'm not watching, but definitely you will get the fair share of blows that I got in my earlier times. So be prepared for it. Okay, I'm just gonna try separating all these things. This is the container, and this is the item container, and this is going to be the figure area, and this is going to be the content, item text content. Okay, so now what I want to do is I need to add this thing. So this is a permalink and everything, so that this will be helpful in case if I need to change anything. So this one I want to put it for every figure. Boom. How does that look? It is close enough like the design, but yeah, it looks okay, right? Or is it
It
dark?
looks good.
I'll try to look at the 100% of this. This is actually 175%. Um, I feel the heating color is so dark at the bottom. What do you think? This one is very dark. I'll switch to E0 then.
I think it looks good. I wouldn't get too hung harp on making the colors perfect, because it depends on your screen. It depends on so many variables.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, this is like nothing, right? Oh no, wait. This is FI, and this one is EEE, right? Okay, I'll just use the same thing because it might be a better option for me. Okay, that actually I thought this would be better, and this is actually better. Sorry, man. Okay, what do you think about this now? It looks nice, right? So the only thing that I have concern is now we have got our image not having the same kind of like structure. So the border radius. Here I gave border radius as 5 pixels. Maybe I'll make it as 10 pixel. Okay, that looks nice. And then I'm going to copy this and put it on the image as well, which is bad. So I'm going to give 5 pixel for the border radius here, which makes it look really good. Great. Now the only thing that we need to do is the box shadow. So there is a shadow on top on its overall thing. So let's give a box shadow.
You got a great suggestion, actually. Can you show the result full screen for everyone, so it's easier for them to see the whole thing? Yeah, leave it up for a few seconds, let people have a look so they can see it and not get distracted.
It's actually not updated. Yeah, for some reason the border radiuses are not still there. So this is an old version of what we have been doing. Eddie, do you want to copy and paste the JSBin link? So it is 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐭 whatever.
Okay, let me try it. Let me see.
𝐶OGEPEFIME.
COG.
EPE
Yep.
FIME. You want a phonetics version?
No, let's have a look. I've got it. I'll share it.
Superb.
Good idea.
Okay, so this is what we have done so far. Not exactly so far. We have got much better output here. Okay, with the thing. The only thing that we need to look into is the box shadow part. So it has inset, horizontal offset, vertical offset, stuff like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try getting rid of the inset. It is not an inset. Horizontal offset and vertical offset are 0. Blur is going to be like maybe 5 pixels, and let's see how it looks. Color, oh sorry, color is RGBA. RGBA means it's a transparency added to the color. So RGB color of 0 comma 0 comma 0 is black, and I'm going to do 0.25, which is a small bit of an RGBA. Okay, so let's see how it looks now. And if I click on the output, boom, actually it looks good, right? I'm gonna put like 10 pixels. So that's how we are looking at people. How is this?
Looks good.
Awesome. So this is nice, and 0.25 is also working fine. So this is going to be the. I guess we have done with the design totally, right? Almost. Only thing is for the figure, we have got a padding 15 pixels on all the sides, but I for the top and bottom I want to give more padding, so I'm just going to give 25 pixels so that it looks exactly like this. I don't want to literally copy it, but still, let me put 30 so that it's like 2 times. No, it doesn't look good. I'll just put 20 pixels. It looks nice. And apart from that, let's also add some. Um, I was just thinking. So we have got padding as 5 pixels here, and yeah, that seems to be nice. I guess I'm good with this. What do you think?
Your design skills are awesome. I mean, look at the layout for today. What we're having on the live stream, that's done by you as well. You do have a really good eye for design as well as super fast
Boss, I
fingers
just
for
copied
coding.
this one. I just copied this one. I like this design, so I just recreated it. The real credits needs to go to the whoever designed this. They would have put in a lot of efforts like user acceptance testing and other things. So definitely it should go to them, not me. So let's make this a bit duller. So maybe see DDD might work better. D0 might work better. D0 is a darker version, so maybe day or diff df. Yeah, that is better. E is like completely gone. How about E0? Right, I like this. Anyone? Any objections? Let's freeze this part. This is taking up so much time. But this is the main thing, right? So we need something really solid content for this. So there you go, people. We have got the CSS part. The only thing that we need to do is make it responsive. So initially, for a full screen, which is more than uh, what should I say? Like if the screen size is bigger, we can go with a bit of. Okay, I'm just gonna put a bit of responsiveness here. Responsiveness.
Everyone has
And
a different opinion on the sizes. That's why, again, I love Tailwind because it has the recommendation that you can override, but I usually don't. Their recommendation is usually quite good for the different screen sizes.
so I start with max width as like 475px, which are smaller screens, like smaller mobile screens, and I'm going to do this as only this part will be changed. So initially, you want it for 25% for the whole width because this is a huge screen, right? So look at this. This looks really good. For four per row looks really good. Oh, still we haven't fixed this part, so we need to fix that part as well, so we will do it later. So what I'm going to do is for the paragraph alone, I'm going to give min width, min height as 200 px.
So I have
It's
a
huge.
question for you, Praveen. So there is
Go for it.
Bootstrap, there is Material, there is Tailwind. When is Praveen CSS coming out?
I don't want to reinvent the wheel, but for a small thing like this, I thought I will do it.
No. I'm not saying to because of what you're doing today. But saying when are you creating your own kind of library that people can then use?
That's the same thing which I'm also talking about. Like, I don't have any idea for now, but definitely there will be one soon. So definitely
Awesome.
you'll be the first person invited for it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a responsive design view here, and I'm going to see what are all the different files, like screen sizes are available. So it starts with 425. So I made it as, oh, I should have done it as 575. That's the common one. Then there is 768. So let's go with 768 here. And I'm not sure whether I should be arranging it in the other order or this order, but let's see. I believe the next one is 1024, yes. So 1024, next one. And then finally we have got 1440, okay. And then there is 2560, I guess, which is the 2K screen. So anything about 2560, that's fine. So I'm just going to leave it as such. So we'll just leave that one. Just get rid of this. Right. So now we have got different. So this is above 1440. We need to do this one. Okay. So now for everything, let it be 25%. And for each of these things, until 575 pixel, I want the width of this one to be 100%. Uh, is it bad? Something like that. So yeah, since this one is not scaling up high, I would go with 50%. Would it be very small at this stage? This stage it looks okayish to me, but I want to have another breakpoint, which might be 100%.
You've got some suggestions coming in on the colors again. Instead of the white background, make the page dark. I think they're looking for a dark theme by
Okay.
Shruti. But that's something we can do after responsive. Let's get responsive working and then we can customize it further.
Yes. So as I thought before, I believe this is the wrong way of doing it. So I'm just gonna swap all these things again. So uh, I need to rearrange this. So I'll use the help of Visual Studio Code. So what I need to do is the first thing which I want is the biggest one, second biggest, sorry, third biggest, fourth biggest, and finally we have this. Okay. So now if it goes beyond this one, it's gonna go like this, and we don't need this p paddings. Sorry, paragraphs min height here. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. Min height as 0, and but if it comes here, we need a min height, and yeah, so that's good, right? So at this point, it shows only one per row, and if it goes bigger, it shows two per row. So this is in its original form. Okay, so there is no zooming in here at this point. If we have the minimal size, it looks really good. Two column layout can go from can kick in from 425 pixels, and then I want three column layout on after this 575. So I'll go with 33%. Oh wait, what am I doing? So let it be two column layout, and from this one let me make it as three column layout. So 33%. great. Actually, this is very small. So let's skip this part. Actually, skip this part in the sense I'll make this one as 768 then. Okay. So that looks good. Yeah. It's not actually overflowing. So at this point of time, if I keep going this way, it's gonna go a bit higher. That's the reason. So if I go here, go here, go here, and then it switches to 4 column layout. So I don't need anything more than 1024. So that's it. We are done with responsiveness.
Awesome.
Is this okay? Does it look good? Should we make it as 5 column layout or something like that? If I'm going on the huge, yes, we might need to have a 5 column layout. So I'm just gonna do this one, or yeah, 14, maybe 1920, the HD full HD one. I'll make it as 5 column layout, 25%. So we don't need this one at all. So let it be there, but it's okay. Uh, so when this 5 column layout needs to kick in, I guess from this point. So it's from 1800 we can make it. Oh, 5 column layout is 20%, right? Sorry. Already 5 column here. This is bad. Interesting. This is screwed up now. So at 1800,
It's okay that things don't always work. I think it shows the authentic side that
Yeah.
things don't always work first time, and I think that's important when you're watching
1368. It's,
videos
it's supposed to
on.
be 1368. Sorry. It is supposed to be 1368. Up to 1368, this is fine. So 136. Yeah, perfect. So up to this is fine. So then it becomes 5 column layout. Sorry, 4 column layout, right? So let's make it as 25 pixels. Sorry, 25%. And once this thing is hit 1800, there you go, 5 column layout. So that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah.
So perfect. Now the responsiveness is perfectly done, and we can go into the creating the HTML based on the Node.js part. Any questions so far?
Just some other questions about the dark and
Well,
light theme. Also, I answered one about Bootstrap and responsive. And then
Awesome.
people asking about will the code be available afterwards? I did share a link to the GitHub repo earlier, but it was
Yeah, the
empty,
code
so
will
I'll
be
share
available
it again shortly when Praveen pushes the code up.
Superb. So let's start with the real. Okay, so we have got the design done. Okay, so this is the design that we are going to use further. So clicking on this or clicking on this will take to the event page, something like that. That's what I'm planning to do. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the coding part. So if I try to open this one, I can see that the initial commit is here, which is perfect. And oh, by the way, do you know that from next month, I guess, or next week, I guess, GitHub is changing all the master branches into main branches.
Yes, I actually have a video on
yeah.
this where you can change sooner if you want. So if you do want to change from now, I have a video on how you can do that, and there's some gotchas. But going forward, yes, they will be changing it to default.
Only for the new ones, right?
Yeah, only for the new repos. They won't change it for an existing ones because you have to think about
It will,
branch protection,
yeah,
GitHub
it will
Actions
completely
looking for
do it.
certain branches. So there's a few things to think about. But I have got a video on this. Check it out. It's a short video, but it shows you how you can do it from now, and I highly recommend to do it.
Yeah. So the first thing that we are going to do is we will start with a simple initialization of a node project. Okay, so for that we will be using npm init, and if it does so, it will be like covering all the things, like what all things that we need to do. The package name is static site gen node.js, yes. Version 1.0, yes. Description, this is mainly okay. Hey, Eddie, can you tell me a description? I'm very bad in English.
Uh, Just hard to put the title. You can update this later. Yeah, just keep it simple. We can always make these improvements. You know, if people want to practice their open source, it's really good if you make a bad description and then let somebody else make a pull request to your project for practice and improving the description.
So since this is a node project, I'm going to use index.js as the entry point. There are no test commands. The Git repository is already given here. Keywords, I'm going to use node.js static site generator. Author, that's me. License is going to be whatever the ISC is. So yeah, perfect. Looks like this. I'm gonna go with this one. And obviously, I'm not happy with the way it generated, so I'm just gonna quickly get rid of this one. And this is perfect. It's not Praveen Kumar T. That was my mistake. Node.js needs space. Static site generator needs spaces. That's it. Okay, so that looks nice. Problem here is we don't have a start command. Okay, so let's create a start command, which mainly does the starting of it. So, but before that, what we need to do is we need something called as node-mon, and before that, we also need the index.js. Okay, so index.js, and we will just put a small console.log saying, "Hey, welcome to static site generator," and look at my previous videos for my what do you call this, the development environment. I've been using a lot of plugins, so around 6 plugins, not more than that. 1 2 3 4 5, just 5 plugins I have used. So 5 6 7 8 plugins I have used. Out of that, 2 are useless plugins, others are really useful.
Which
So
ones are the
Maker
useless
have
ones?
to do tree and VS Code icons. I haven't used in my life yet, ever. But otherwise, that I have been using all these things.
Why do you have them installed then?
Uh, there should be some time. Okay, VS Code icons is just for like like making all these things look nice. So this shows a React icon. This shows the package npm icon. So even though they are useless, like useless in functionality, visually it is pleasing. That's the main reason.
So
So
that's
even
good.
if
It
you don't
adds
have
value, right? It adds value.
very least amount of value, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Okay,
Also got a
so
question on what you just did before we go too far ahead. You put the entry point as index.js, and someone's asking, can it be index.html?
no, because it's a Node.js and it needs to be a JavaScript file. It could be either server.js or generator.js. For now, I am just putting as index.js. All right. So if I need to run this one every time when this changes, I need to do. I click on npm start. Actually, nothing happens because the start script is empty. So I'm going to put node index. Okay. If I don't have this start script at all, let's see what happens. Missing script start. Okay, great. That's what I was thinking. So I'm just going to put node index, and then if I save it, yeah, it's going to say, "Hey, welcome to static site generator." That's it. It stops there. And then every time when I save something, I need to go and again put the npm start. So what I plan to do is I want to install something called as okay. Before doing anything, created package.json and start script. Okay, so I'm just gonna commit everything. I'm gonna push it so that you can see it here. Okay, I'm gonna create my first issue here. Eddie, you can start talking about issues and stuff. So
Yes, let's
create
do
a
it.
read.
So as I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the stream, having an active GitHub profiles, those green squares are really important. And what's also really important is it's not just about code. Raising an issue will get you a green square. And it also shows a bit of diversity to your profile, that it's not just about code, that you can raise a good issue with a good description. So when I'm doing my live streams and I encourage people to get green squares by doing pull requests or issues, I used to tell people, don't worry about raising the same issue by multiple different people, I will just accept the first one and close the others. Now, to encourage people to write better issues that aren't just one word, I say I'll keep the issue open that has the better description. So therefore time isn't the factor anymore, it's actually the quality. So raising an issue still gets you a green square, but also if an issue is already created, you can add value by putting a comment in and saying, you know, I had this issue too, or this is how my workaround, or whatever it is. I think with open source and even client projects for your company, etc., it's always about adding value to the project. So just think about how you can always add value to the project and the community, and that's how you can get involved. And then things snowball from there. You get involved in more conversation, bigger features, bigger pull requests, and it'll become easier for you and help your profile as well.
Awesome. Okay. And this problem, I need to keep on doing the npm start again and again and again during my development time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create npm install nodemon. Nodemon is a node monitoring tool. It monitors for changes in your javascript files and a few files, and then once any changes is done, it's going to restart the server, restart the whole thing. So that is what I'm going to install for the first time. Now, because I installed it, it created a lot of files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file called .gitignore, and I'm going to add node modules inside that. So only these three files are changed. Okay, so right now what I did is added gitignore and nodemon. Okay, so I'll push this as well. Now we've got all the files, and now if I try to go and change this one as nodemon, and now dated the start script to use nodemon. If I do npm start again, it is going to start the nodemon. Okay, and then it has done clean exit, waiting for changes before restart. Okay, now we have got, if I do hello welcome to static site generator, and if I say something like exclamation sign and save it, it automatically does the change twice. Okay, so it's going to change it and it's going to update it for us. Okay, super. So that is the main use of nodemon. And if we go back to our code, I guess I have got all these things updated in the GitHub repository as well. So go ahead and check it out. Right. So now let's get into the generation of the first page. Okay. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Bootstrap as usual. So I'm going to go for bootstrapcdn.com, and here I'm just going to take all these things. Okay. So what I'm going to do first thing is I want to create a HTML first. Okay. So before that, I want to create a directory which is called as build directory. All right. So now, I don't know how I will be creating a build directory. So I'm just gonna try it out myself. Create directory Node.js. I guess I need to use something called as fs. Yeah, see, Google and Stack Overflow literally understands me. So this is the thing which I want. Okay.
I think that's what comes with experience, is knowing what to search for, and also knowing how to ask questions. I think I can really see people who have got involved in the community because they ask a question very differently. Because when they raise a question on, Discord or Slack or, Stack Overflow or GitHub, if they don't get responses because they've asked the question badly, I think then they learn to ask better questions. And when they know how to ask better questions, they get better at learning to search on Google to get the right answers. And it's important to learn how to ask questions. People need to include more information, but not, write a whole essay on it. So it's something that I think people can take away, is watching what you search for.
Hey, Eddie. Does commenting on issues give you a screen square as well?
No, it doesn't, but it is still is important for your profile. It doesn't give you a green
Oh,
square. Raising an issue does, but not commenting on an issue. But commenting on an issue is really important still. I do look at people's what people comment on when I'm looking at their profile if I'm hiring someone. So it is important to do it.
so actually, it is like go ahead and start doing it, not for just the green square, for something productive. So green squares will come back later. Don't go behind success. Success will come when you are doing whatever with your passion. Okay. Okay, now see, this is what I wanted to create. I want a build folder or maybe a docs folder so that I can also put it on my GitHub pages. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to build folder itself, because GitHub pages now supports custom directories as well. Okay, now something like if this path is existing, I need to create a directory or something like that. So what these people have done is they have asked us to require this fs. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the require of fs. I guess fs is a file system thing which is already available. So if I do a console.log and type in fs, definitely you have the fs already loaded. So I don't need to like go and do a npm install or something like that, because fs is a core component in Node.js. And what they have given is, if not fs.exist sync directory, do this fs.make. Okay, so we are literally doing two things. Okay, so if I save this one, I'm gonna see a directory called build here. That's what I feel. Okay, I save it, boom, there is a build directory. So this is exactly what is cool about Node.js. Okay, so I don't know whether it is cool about Node.js or anything, but let's do this. Okay, so now created directory if it doesn't exist. Okay, so anything else that I need to change here? So I've got the const var name. Like let me do this one. Welcome message. So what I'm going to do is running static site generator. So create a directory if it doesn't exist. Boom. So these things are done. So create a directory if it doesn't exist. So that we have commented. Right. So now with respect to VS Code, I can use this plus button so that I can open up another tab and I can do a git push this way. So that is easier as well. And coming back to our Node.js here, so in case any kind of errors comes, I can quickly see it here. Okay, so now we have created the directory. Now the next thing is I need to generate the file based on whatever the configuration that I'm going to give. Okay, so like that, let's see what we want to generate. Okay, and before we do this, we also want another command in the node to serve the site as well. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I just wanted to check if I am going out of time, because it is like 11:30 already, and yeah, I've got another maybe half an hour or something like that. Sorry for making you all wait, but here it is. So this is the way. I mean, like the main session today is not like static site generator, but creating a theme for me. I'm really sorry about it. But obviously, I had the best ideas and I'm happy with the theme that we created as well. Okay, now let's do a read the configuration. So I want to read the configuration from the file. Okay, whenever I do a require or anything, I want to do it from the before anything. So I'm just going to put read the configuration on top. So const config. I have to give null, because if I save it, it's going to throw me an error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a config.json file. Okay, it's going to be a JSON file, and let me try to run require. Oh shit! Sorry, just give me a second. Since no one was talking to me, the my speaker got closed for some. I know why. Okay, it is because it didn't have the power. Oh, crap.
While you're fixing that, let me answer some of these questions. So I'm trying to
Just give me
reply
one
in the
second.
chat, not to interrupt you, but maybe this one I will reply here now.
I need to
So
use something. Just
the question is, I don't know where to do a PR. The best place to do a PR is projects you use already. So if you have any dependencies like Lodash or Moment or anything like that, you'll be familiar with those projects already. So they're really good projects to start because you're not starting from scratch. Even though you might not have dug into their code, I'm sure you've read their documentation, their quick start. You can see maybe there's some more improvements around there that you can make. And it's really interesting that once you start making changes, you will notice more and more things, and you'll get involved in the conversation more with the community and maintainers around that project. And then you'll find other projects as well. So I cannot recommend enough just to get started in the conversation, and before you know it, things will snowball. So the question was, I don't know what to change after doing the fork. So the steps are, you do a fork, that means you have a copy of the project under your account. Now you can clone the fork if you want to make changes locally, or do locally in the browser is also fine in your fork, but you're limited to what you can do in the browser. So once you've made a change, once you've made a contribution of value, doesn't matter how small, it's the value, and then you commit it, you push it, and then your fork will have those changes, and then you can go to the original repository and you go to pull request tab, and then there'll be a link that says compare across forks, and then you can select your fork and your branch, then you can make the change. One tip here, and it's the last thing I'll say, I know Praveen wants to show some more code, is if you plan to make future changes to that project, make sure in your fork you make your changes in a branch, not in the default branch, because otherwise you'll probably run into conflicts and things will get out of sync. Your default branch in your fork should always match the log, the history in the project you fork. Sorry. So, but we can chat more about that later on. I don't want to eat into too much Praveen's time. So Praveen, how's it going?
it's going good. So what I have done is I read the configuration from the JSON file, and I tried to console.log it so that I can see what exactly is happening. So if I see here, I can see that there is an empty object. So I need to start anything with an empty object, or else if the file itself is empty, it's going to be throwing an error. Okay, so this is what I did, and after saving it, I got this configuration. So what I'm going to do now is I'll go back to the index.js, and I'll just type in like this is the config I got. So I'll just use a console.log. Here's the red configuration. So you can see that the configuration is completely empty. But what I really want is, before configuration, I want it to be the content. Okay, so I'm gonna change all these things into content. So I'm just gonna make this one into content.json. Okay, immediately the moment I change it, it's gonna throw an error because it's looking at the files. So I'm gonna change this config into content. Here's the content, and here's the content. And if I save this, it's going to show me an empty array. That is what we want, right? So we have got the content and we have done this. So now I'm going to go here and do something like reading content from JSON. Okay, so I have pushed the code. So all the code, whatever is there, is latest. Now the exit is also clean. So reading the content, here's the content. Now what we will do here is, let's try to find out what exactly is happening here. So we'll close this one, we'll close this one, and we'll see what exactly is being sent here. So right now, if you see this, in the HTML, we have a lot of things that are repeated here. The first one is the link of the event. Okay, so what we will do is, so this every one of this one is a link. Okay, so if I save this one, it's going to do this way. So I'm just going to put link, and then it's going to be hash for now. So we don't need to give the actual link for now. Okay, and then we have a image URL, image Make sure it is 720 by 1920 by 720 or something like that. Then we have the title, and that is going to be obviously the title. So let me put like one image for this. I'm just going to copy this one and put it here. Title also, I'll just copy this one, interview helper, and then paste it here. Then we have heading, again it is the title. We have the link here, and then we have the description here. Okay, so let's try to copy this description as well. I'm trying to keep all the variables as short as possible, maximum 5 characters. So I'm just going to use img here so that it's smaller. Okay, so now we have got one particular URL. Okay, so we need all these 5. Okay, so I'm just going to be lazy again. I'm going to copy all these things by using this one. So the first one is obviously the link. So for now, I'm just going to target all these figures and then put a hash here. Okay, so now I've got a hash. Then I'm going to connect this one, all these image links. I'm just the main laziest person ever you can ever see.
But lazy developers show how find ways to automate things, which is really important. Which is where GitHub Actions or CI generally really helps, and writing code really helps because you can automate things a lot. Everyone watching, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up as well to help support Praveen's channel, and subscribe and hit the bell button if you haven't already, and share it with your friends if you think they'll be interested, because we can learn a lot from Praveen.
We have got something like this now. So I've got all these things saved here, and I'm just going to put this one. So every single thing has 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. So if you see here, even here it is like 4 elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this one 4 times or 5 times, and now I've got like 6 elements here. Okay, so now I can see that there are like 6 things that are red here. So if you see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only here. So let me make one more thing. This might screw up, so I'm just going to do this one, save it. So there are 6 now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all these things, and 6 into 4s are 24. So there are 24 items here. So I'm just going to copy this one, and now comes the main thing. So I'm just going to close this for a moment. I'm going to use this one. There are 24 selections, right? No, 16 selections. Boom. So now I can see that there are 24 selections here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the end. I'm going to use this one. I'll put this. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, I screwed it up. So if I press this, okay, that will not work as well. Okay, I might need to change a few things, but that's all right. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just take this. Okay, now with this being given, I'm going to take 2 things like this and paste it. Boom. Only thing that I need to change is the description part, right? Or else otherwise everything is good. So all these places where there are like 4 or 5 things, I'm just going to get rid of this one. Okay, now when I save this one, I go back to the my node.mon. I can see that it has read everything correctly, right? So it has got the correct data in its config, content config. Okay, so content. Here's the content, which is perfect, and based on this content I need to generate the HTML. Okay, so now I need to put, okay, reading the content and giving an initial content is what I did. Created an initial dummy content. Okay, so that's what I did just now. And now with that being said, the next thing is I need to get these HTMLs created. Okay, so console.log generating HTMLs. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is not to make this file totally crazy, I'm going to create a couple of utility files. Okay, so now I'm going to create a file that is utils slash generate item html, okay, .js. Okay, so I'm gonna do an export. I'm gonna do a const gen html, gen item html. It's a function that takes in an item and then it is going to return something. Okay, so return some html. So it is going to return, let's say, how are we doing this? Okay, this is supposed to be in ul and li, so I'm just going to use um, a list item slash li, and then it has a class of event item, and then for now I'm just gonna put, oh, I can't use this one, right? So I'll be using this one, item dot. It might have a lot of things, so inside the content.json I don't need this. For now I'll just put the title alone, item dot title. Okay, let's save this. So we've got this gen html item. So now the first thing is I need to get the content, okay, the container. Export default gen item html. Okay, now the same thing I need to create. Okay, for now what I have created is created initial version of item generator. Something actually happened. So what did I change here in index.js? Okay, I don't want this to be saved. Okay, for here, for index, what I want to do is I need to also create another gen item html kind of thing. Gen, this is going to be gen content or container, and here I'm doing gen container html, which is good. So this one requires the content. Okay, and here what I do is, I'm completely hopeless now. It's not container html again, so I'm just gonna make it as content html. So now based on the configuration, so based on the content, here's content length, and I do like dollar content dot length. That's a array, right? So I'm just gonna do this. Now what I want is container html. I don't want this as container html, so content. Wait, gen item and gen content are there. So the first thing which I want is gen content html. I thought this will actually automatically try to include it, but let's see. Oh yeah, it is. It says auto import from utils and blah blah blah. Yes, I want to do it, and immediately you can see that, oh, it is going to do like default as content html, something like this. I guess named exports are not allowed, I guess. So I can't even do the export here. So what I need to do is I need to do module.exports equal to gen content html. So I'm going to save this way, and let me remove this one. And if I do this one, it says no suggestions. Okay, that's interesting. So what we can do now is const gen content html is this, and let's try to do a console.log of gen content html and see if this works. Okay, it says it is the function gen content html, which is good. And if I try to send something like say it is going to do a content.length, right? So if I try doing this one and save it, the content length is 0. And if I do hello, content length is 1. Hello world, content length is 2. So this is working as per what we want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the content over here. The content's length is 6. So if I go back, found items to process. So I can see that it says found 6 items to process. That's what we want. And we don't want to read the content as well. Okay. So generating HTMLs from the content. So found 6 items to process, which is good. So instead of doing the console.log here, what I'm planning to do is I'm just gonna run this. That's all I'm going to run. So I don't want to return this. Instead, I want to do a console.log. Now it says found six items to process. Okay, until this is fine. So we need to create a HTML which actually encompasses these things. This needs to be created. Okay, so the first thing is I want this to be added. This is the HTML content, right? So now the first one which I want to do is let me create an array. Okay, const content HTML is equal to an array. The reason why I'm using array is I can easily use push and all these array elements so that it doesn't like affect anything. Okay, now I want to push the first line, this one. That's the first HTML part. Okay, so content HTML right now is like, okay, I'm gonna do a CLG generated HTML is CLG content HTML dot join, and I'll just put /n here. If I save this, currently the generated HTML is this. No, I want more things. So at the last, before I generate, the content HTML needs to have the last /div as well. If I save this, it has an empty div. That is perfectly fine. Nice. This is what I wanted. Okay. Now I need to process each content. Okay. So now if I do, so until this, what I can do is I'll save everything. Added and content. Oh, this is an untracked one, right? So created a skeleton for content generator. Content gen. Okay. Now here I have included the content generator. So included content gen in index. Okay, that's what I have done so far. Perfect. Now the currently it is only generating the container. Now what I want to do is I want to generate each element here. So for that, what I want to do is I want this part to be generated by the other function. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. Did I push it already? No, I haven't. Right? Yeah. I'm just going to do git add ca. So what I did was I just removed the remove the commented part. So until this is nice, so I'm just going to push it off. Now what I want is for every content I need to do something. Okay, so const contents array is equal to for content dot map. I'm going to do the map because content is an array, and Uh, okay. Later on, we will think of like making the, or else we'll actually do this. So dot 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 content dot map. So in this case, it is going to map these things dot map. So the first thing what I'm going to do is, um, there is a function. The first one will be the value. So this is going to be the item. Okay, and there will be an index which we are not going to use. So now what I want to do is for every item, I'm just going to return. Um, okay, this is going to be the same thing as gen item, right? So I'm just going to get the gen item HTML from this. So const gen, okay, gen item HTML. I'm
Just
going
want
to
to
import.
add that people who are watching Praveen using the command line, he has shortcuts or aliases for his Git commands. So those are not the Git commands that will work on your computer. So pay attention to that. If you try and use them, it won't work for you.
So I have I have written a blog post of how to use the um, Git commands like Git shortcuts. So if you search for Git shortcuts Praveen, you can clearly get it. Okay, now first thing is I need to find this particular thing. Okay, so const gen item HTML is going to be this one, and let me see if I can get this one here. So CLG gen item HTML. If I do this, and if I go back to here, it shows it as gen item HTML as a function, and this is taking the item as any, right? So for this is perfect for me. So now the item and return value and those kind of thing, that is what this also uses. So instead of doing that, I'm going to use gen item HTML and save it off. Now I also need to see what is there in the contents array. Gen items, this is what I changed. So changed from export to module dot exports. Boom. Okay, now here if I try to see what is there in the contents array, I will be able to see something like all these list items. Okay, already I've got this div class events, which I don't want it as div, but I want it as UL class events. So now if you see this, I can clearly see that these things need to be coming inside that as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, instead of doing console.log contents array, I'm going to do content HTML dot push contents array. Now you can see clearly that UL everything. So that perfectly works. So it is pushing correctly. And the other thing that I wanted to do is console contents array dot join with /n. Boom. Have we got the same kind of structure already? So we have got the UL, LI, all these things with event item till the event item. Then we have got the title and other things. So right now, whatever we need to do inside the what do you call this? Inside this gen content.js is done. So if I put a /t here, so it is perfect now. It is like extremely perfect that it has all the /t and all the tabbed characters, and it works fine. So this is what we want, but except for the first one. That's weird. I'll just give a /t here as well. /t plus this one. So we have got it perfectly till this. Okay. So generate content is completed. Doing completed. Show the content generator for HTML. Okay. Now comes the item generator. So what we need here is, we need a figure, we need this one, and we need this one. Okay, this is what we want inside this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to add this directly like this. So now let me put this one like this. Let me add this one here. So now I need to change all these things into a tab character. So if I try to do this as indentation to tabs, this is supposed to be a tab character, and I'm gonna put A and B. This is really required because this is bad. This is the only way I can put the tab character here. Yeah, that is a tab character. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get rid of this one. I'm gonna put this one here. So this is a tab character and this is a space character. This is a tab character for sure. So I'm gonna add another tab character. There is only one tab character, right? So there is one tab character here. There is another tab character here, and there is another tab character here. Okay, see, this is the problem. This is not actually a tab character. Okay, so there are two tab characters here. The same way which I need to do is I need to put the figure here. I'll just copy the whole thing here, paste it over here. It is not actually allowing me to paste the tab character at all. So it is actually converting everything into, because it is actually converting the tab characters into uh, spaces. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm just going to do convert indentation to tabs and tab size as 8 so that I can clearly see how much big tabs I'm going to use. That's great. And tab characters here, I mean this one here, great. Now if I do h3, we can just leave it this way, so we don't need any tab characters here. Okay, perfect. Now we've got what we wanted. Now the only thing that needs to be not a tab character is this one, and we can save this like this. Boom. I guess we have got what we needed really. So all I need to do is, for all these lines, I need another tab character. So I add this tab and save it. So all I get is almost what I wanted here. /li, and then for some reason this first li has some tabs, so I'm just going to get rid of this tab. So if you see here, it is perfect. Any questions on this part? Let me quickly have a look at the stuff.
People are asking what tech you've used. I said in terms of coding, it's HTML, CSS, and Node, which is JavaScript. But you've also used other tools like NodeMon, VS Code, Canva, JSBin. I don't know if you want to add anything else to the other
Canva, I
items
don't
that
think
you're using.
Canva is just for some kind of a design. Yeah, that's it. I guess that's it. So again, if you go to Google and search for Praveen Dev Environment, you can find the first link as my personal development environment, and you have everything here. So if you see here, I have got all these things. Okay, I'm almost done with whatever we need to do. It's already 12 here, so I don't want to catch hold of everyone right now. So once this is done, we've got the basic version of the HTML part, and all we need to do is we need to add the styles. So gen items, what we did was we added the tab characters, added the HTML in. Oh, wait, we haven't done this fully. Shit. For each item. So what we need to do here is, for every item, we will go for this content.json. There is link, image, title, and desk. Okay, so let's copy these four things, and we'll just put this on here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, for this one, this needs to be replaced, and it's going to be item dot link. I'm just going to copy this whole thing. This is the item.img, right? Yeah. This one is going to be item.title, and then we have got again the item.link and item.title here. Looks like my phone is dead almost. Okay, Then finally we have got, oh, okay, fine. We've got item dot desk here. Okay, so if I save this now, boom, look at this. It almost generated the exact thing that we require. Interview helper, static site generator. Yeah, this is fine, right? Like it has almost all these things. So we've got the almost all these four elements. There are no hard coded values here, right? So everything is done here. So I can get rid of these things and save it. Get rid of this. Let's go back to our stuff to see if this is perfectly generated. Looks like it is perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this whole thing and paste it over here. The only problem is the spacing, which is fine so far. All right, we can safely assume that this is perfect. Okay, so this is the content HTML, right? So for some reason it is actually doing the, oh, it is actually doing the thing in the, what do you call this, on the console. So I want this to be returned. So return the content HTML here. All right, so now it doesn't do it. So generated HTML needs to be here, CLG, and generated HTML. It looks perfect. Okay, so now the content HTML is being given here perfectly. Only thing is I need to get the CSS. Okay, so this CSS can be clearly given in a different way. So this one is the generated HTML. So added HTML for each item that's been created. Here what we did is returned the HTML content instead of log. Oh wait, that's done. Now for the index.js, so we have actually created this one. So let's quickly look at if there is any generated HTML. Okay, there is console.log here. We've got this one, that's fine. We can do a HTML content generated, and we've seen this. Removed logs and replaced with verbose. Okay, so now until this, we have got everything that we require for the content to be here. The only thing that is left is this part. So we'll copy this one, and in our utils, we can create another file, css.js, gen.css.js, and in this way. So const gen.css is going to return just this without anything. Okay, and module dot exports gen css and save it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add CLG grabbing css, and what I'm going to do is console.log gen css. Doesn't work, right? Doesn't seem to work. Okay, so let's try to get it the same way. Gen css is gen css, and then gonna do gen css. If I save this, we can clearly see the first element is the CSS part and the second element is the content part. Perfect. We've got the CSS, we have got the content, and now what we need to do is we just need the basic HTML from JSBin. Okay, events, Praveen, and I'm gonna use these two things and save it. So I'm gonna create another file, gen skeleton. Yes, and in this one, what I'm going to do is, um, so this is the HTML. This is the complete HTML, right? So until this is one part, the body const body, const header is equal to this one, then const footer equal to this one. This is what we want at the moment. We can also give a line export module exports. It's going to be a kind of this one, so named export. So I'll give header and footer here. Const header, const footer, we have given that. We have done the gen skeleton. So added CSS and skeleton. But wait, before this, even in gen skeleton, what I want to do is inside this header, right? I want to do a style tag, and I need to add the CSS here. So I don't want the gen CSS here, so I'll just cut this one and I'll just paste this one here. This needs to be inside this, and gen CSS needs to be imported from here. Boom. So const gen CSS is here and header and footer are here. Okay, now what we are going to do is header and footer are exported, and if I go back here, require gen CSS, everything seems to be perfect. Okay, so now in this part I need the header and footer. So generate HTML from the content. So that is generated this way. So the first thing is generate the header, and here I'm gonna do console.log header, which is going to be imported from this, and the content, and generate the footer. So this is going to be from footer auto imported. So if you see the importing, it is going to import header and footer from this. So I'm going to save this. So now added CSS and skeleton. This is for the CSS and skell. Okay. Now in the index, I have added header and footer, and I have also removed all the other things. So now if you see here, we'll see what exactly it has generated really. So look at this. It has generated these things. Okay. So it has got the HTML head. Then we have got the CSS here. Then after the CSS, in the head, inside the body, it is trying to do all these things. So now that's also there. We are not going to do any of these console.logs now. So generate the header, generated the header, generated the footer, or else we can make it as generating the header, generating the footer, let's not do a console.log, but we need the header here. So const complete const final content is going to be an array. So final content dot push header, same thing, final content dot push content, final content dot push footer. Okay, now we have done this. So it is trying to running the static site generator, generating the header, generating HTMLs from the content, on 6 items to process HTML content generated. I don't know from where it is coming from. Okay, let it be there. And generating the footer, that is also done. Now here's the final HTML, final content dot join, and we are using the /n. Boom, look at this, look at what we have generated so far. So we have got all these things, and now with that being generated, all that we need to do is we need to write this into a HTML file. Okay, so for now we have seen this one. We don't writing final HTML file. Eddie, can you talk something? I'm not able to hear anything in the speakers.
Yeah, you can. You're racing through it, so I kind of don't want to distract you because I know we're running very short. We've overrun on time, so I'm keen for you to power through still.
Okay. So all I need to do is this final HTML.join. This one needs to be written to the HTML content. Okay. So we use something called as fs write file sync, and this is the file. This is the data. Okay, that's what we need to do. So fs.write file sync. The file is going to be the path. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this dir name build / index.html, and then the data is going to be the final content.join of this, and save it.
We had a good question. I've been answering a lot by message, but also I thought this one's actually a really good discussion point. We'll keep it short and sweet. But the question by Hitesh is, what can we all generate through static generation?
Anything, literally anything.
Yeah, you can generate anything.
We have done this one, right? Now, if you see on the screen, like if we go to the index.html is here, I'm going to do it reveal in reveal in sidebar first, and then I'm going to do a reveal in finder. Reveal in finder, and if I try to open this file here, boom, we have got it. We have generated this based on the CSS, like based on what we have written. The only problem here is the list style is there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fix that part. Okay, so now if I go to the CSS, gen CSS, the only thing that I left here in the thing here is list style none. If I save this, and then it automatically regenerates, right? If I refresh this page, boom, that's done. Here you go. We have done it.
Awesome.
This is what I was expecting today. And this is static file, and this is just a normal static file. If you look at this one, it has generated everything perfectly. And obviously there are a few errors because we don't want to have any empty content. So let's go ahead to the gen CSS and try to find all the empty contents here. So this is the first one, figure A, right? Let's make a display block here. Don't know what kind of a crap thing which will happen here. So we did overflow ellipsis already here. So already the margin 0 is also here. We can just directly remove it off, and there is nothing else. Okay, now I'm going to save this. It is going to regenerate it again. And now if I go back to the index.html, I don't think there will be any issues. Yes, it doesn't have anything. So now with that being said, if you see here for the style, what I want is I want this much space. Okay, so I need these spaces here. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with an empty line and then add the spaces like this. And if I save this, if I go back to index.html, okay, I need another space. So save it. Boom. I've got the right spaces as well. So word wrap I will disable. And now the problem here is until this style it is fine, but here the thing is gone. So I'll add the space. Yeah, I'll add the space here as well. So if I do this, this works. Now I need some spaces on the body part as well. So there needs to be two spaces on this thing, on the events part. So what I am going to do is if I go to the, okay, right now updated the spaces correctly. So this is one thing. So for the let's see, we'll start with the UL here. So gen content will go, and the first one I need two spaces here. Now I'll save this one. Looks like the two spaces are perfect. No, actually I need four spaces. Four spaces here, four spaces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Once I save this, the four spaces are perfect here. Then for this one, for the contents array, it is coming from gen item HTML. Okay. So now for these guys, I need an enter key. Okay. The moment if I give the enter key here, let's see how the HTML is getting generated. So it leaves us another space here. So I need to go to the gen skeleton or gen content, and I don't want a slash t or a slash tab, but I'll just save it like this so that it has no spaces, which is perfect. So this is what I wanted. Okay, now the thing is I need overall I need two more spaces. So in the item, I'll go here, two more spaces, save it, boom, that's done. The only problem here is I don't need an empty space before this one. So if I delete it here, it's gonna be a nightmare. So if I go back here and all I need to do is I'll get rid of this one and see if that works. Actually, no. I don't know where exactly this particular line is coming from now. So I guess it should be coming from somewhere after the UL. Then contents array is being mapped into this. Then contents array is being joined. Contents array dot is being pushed. So between these two things, somewhere something is happening. So contents array might contain an empty line. Okay, if I remove this empty line, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get something screwed up. See? Yeah. So contents array, I want it to be joined using /n, not in the first line alone. Boom, that worked. This is perfect. Now, yeah, it's done. So updated the spaces correctly. So I did that update of spacing in this, and then we have done this. Now in the index.js, we have added the headers and footers. Added headers and footers, and written made to write HTML. Okay, so that's done. First build. Boom, we are done. So I can push this. So any questions? I guess after this, just give me 1 second. Let me quickly run this, refresh this. Okay, looks fine to me. Only thing is that this doesn't run on a server. So let's make it run on a server. That is the last thing that we need to do. So we will go back to our package.json and we can do a server or serve. Okay, so here what we can do is we can do HTTP server Or is there any other simple servers available in Node.js? Node.js static server. There is a static
I'm
server
trying
which
to
is
think what I
actually an
use. Yeah, I use HTTP server as well, I think.
HTTP server is better, right?
I think so.
Okay, let's try that. So HTTP server A localhost P 8000 CI. No. Let's go to here. What is the C1? I don't understand what the C1 means. But I want to. Okay, let's go to the code of HTTP server, and yeah, this
I
is what
think
exactly I
I'll
want.
check the official docs. Official docs are always better than Stack Overflow because Stack Overflow,
No. I mean the
people do
official
some
docs.
weird shit and get out of
Yeah, yeah,
date.
yeah. So this is the directory listings. This is the address to use. This is the port to use. So path is here. Okay. So HTTP server. The path I want to do is. I'm not sure if this HTTP server is already installed with whatever we have installed it. That's the reason I'm a bit confused. So path is going to be dot build, and options is like let me use a port minus p. Let's go with let's go with 80 really. And what about the host? Hyphen a is going to be localhost. Let's try this, but only difference is I need to use sudo for this because it is running on port 80. So sudo npm start, npm run serve. Okay, I hope this works. Boom.
Why do you need to run sudo? I never run sudo with my npm
For
commands.
any port number that is less than 1024, I need to run sudo. Okay, the
Okay,
problem is I
interesting.
need to install a HTTP server. So npm install HTTP server. This is what I didn't like it, because generally I think there should be a way to run the server without installing. But anyway, it's okay. So we have a dependencies as HTTP server as well. So if you see, the only thing that is changed is the package.json added serve endpoint, serve script for static site hosting. Yes, please. And now if I do npm run serve, boom, open HTTP localhost and see. There you go. That's done. Finally. So I was
Awesome.
able to do only the index page. I guess we can stop. Okay, let's quickly look at the responsiveness as well. Yes, it is responsive. Boom.
That's really
Not
good. It's
exactly.
great.
It's good. Yeah. So let's try with this one too. 404 5 icon is not available. That's fine. So if I try this, I hope I'm in 100%. Yes, it is clear. It is clear. It is clear. Perfect. It works. So yes, folks, that's done. You can actually stop the screen sharing and switch it to the normal version. Maybe. Let me
Awesome.
know once you have
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I will do. Let's
Have you
do
done
it.
it?
It's great. It's great work. Praveen's been a machine for the last 2.5 hours. There's steam coming off his keyboard for sure.
Yeah. I can't. Just can't.
That was really, really good. Well done.
Thank you. So yeah, let me have a quick look at the comments now.
So one of the
Anything else?
questions, yeah, one of the questions that was good. I thought I'd bring up was, um, we talked briefly about it before about what can you do with static site generation. You said anything, so I think it would be good to give some examples and maybe talk about also some pre-built solutions out there like Jekyll, Gatsby, Nux.js, etc.
Okay. Yeah, those are the things that are already like a built-in thing. So that what they do is they kind of create based on your own. Um, I mean, see, for example, if you use Jekyll and other things, those static site generator are already pre-made and they have their content in a particular way that needs to be generated. But this, what I have done is like from scratch, like from what I wanted, seriously. So yeah, if at all I need to create a new event, I just need to do a few changes in the JSON file and then push it over to GitHub, and using GitHub Actions I can deploy it. Done.
Sounds good. There's a question about the sudo command. Yes, the sudo is giving for extra permissions, but you've got to bear in mind that you set a precedence in your file structure. So if you use sudo for using brew or npm, then you'll cause problems using that same command in the future, because those files generated will be owned by root rather than yourself. So you really shouldn't use sudo. I never use sudo unless I'm actually making a system change. Awesome.
Here's the JS
everyone had fun?
Yeah. How was it, people? Your comments, please. And here's the GitHub link.
I think everyone's still trying to digest all the information you gave them.
Yeah. So you can obviously obviously you can go ahead and watch the video once again, so that you have all these things. And yeah, so that's there. Everyone go ahead, this is the GitHub link, and go fork it, star it, think about improving something, add your issues. I've already added issue number 1. Someone go ahead and claim the issue, get a green square, and then contribute to it. Let's build something together.
Awesome. Sounds good. Anything else you want to add, Jay or Praveen?
Shanmuga, this is not a cook with Komali show, man. Seriously. But actually, that's a good idea. I'm also a cook, so we can try something. Literally, it becomes Komali when I try to cook something, because I'm not I'm just an experimental cook, not exactly an awesome cook. But obviously, I guess I'm an awesome cook. So looks like Hitesh Kumar Pradhan has actually resolved my issue. So I'm just gonna quickly go ahead and give him a green square or something like that. So let's see, pull request. No, bro. Did you resolve it? I've created a pretty basic readme file for your repo. Once the project is complete, I will add some interesting graphical stuff in it. Okay, the project is complete now. Go ahead, do your honors. Thank you.
Awesome. We will all review your PRs throughout the day. So take your time. Make sure you put a good description and screenshots to your pull request description. Think about it from the other person's point of view. The more easy you make it for someone to review your pull request, the more likely it is going to get merged. And remember, it doesn't have to be a big pull request. One-line changes are fine as long as it's adding value. Think about adding value to a project.
And whenever I do all these changes and commits, I make sure that the number of changes I do per commit stays very small, so that you can understand. So if you go to the Git history and have a look at it, you can see how the whole application has been developed from the scratch and to the application that you see in front of you. So that is something which I suggest everyone to do. Like, make sure you do a multiple commits, and then make sure every commit has very small number of changes. That's it.
Yeah, and do not write the same commit message for each one. And work in progress is a terrible message.
Make sure the commit messages are clear, and it is detailed in case if you have done a lot of changes as well.
Awesome. Okay, so
awesome. I'm going to faint. I'm not having any food. I haven't had even a single drop of water from the morning. From the morning, I woke up at 8 o'clock. So 4.5 hours, I've been starving. I'm just going to go crash on the kitchen. And Eddie, we can have the holding page on for like maybe 1 minute, so that people can comment. And in case if your questions are not answered, I'm really sorry. I will answer every single question. Please go and write it in the comment. Not on the live chat. So we will be we'll be wrapping up now. And thanks a lot, Jay Sadana, for coming in. And it was nice to have you here. Please bring some of your friends to subscribe to the channel as well. And everyone, whoever has not subscribed, please, it's a huge motivation for me to like and subscribe. So please do that. And apart from that, yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this. And there is another live stream today about the newest features of ES6, which I already did in DJ's one on the live, like literally on in-person event. So I'm just planning to do it once again, so that there are like loads and loads of new features have already come up before, in between the time when I created that. So let's do it. And boom, let's meet
Awesome.
in 5 hours. Oh,
Awesome.
sorry,
Well,
not 5 hours. I guess it is 3.5 hours. Sorry, 3 hours from now.
cool. I think Jay
Yep.
wants to say something, but he's muted. I see his mouse moving, but I didn't hear anything.
Jay, you are
No?
muted. Do you want
Oh,
to
no?
unmute?
Okay. Just thought I'd check. Okay. Shall I bring up the holding screen then?
See you all. Have a nice day and have a happy Sunday. And get back to work tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.